Welcome to Water Talk with Paul the Waterman, brought to you by Water Pros. Paul the Waterman is Colorado's expert on all things related to the water we use and drink in our homes. Have you ever thought about where your water actually comes from? Is it safe to drink? Is it harmful to my health, my skin, my hair? Paul the Waterman knows water, and he has the answers. Haystack Help Radio proudly presents Water Talk. Now here's your host, Scott Watley, and owner of Water Pros, Paul the Waterman.
Old Ann and I, with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water. Cool water, clear water.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Johnny? Really, Paul? Johnny?
Here's Johnny. Live
from New York. That may be another show. Anyway. Hey, this show is Water Talk. Paul picks all our openings, folks, so please no calls or text.
Well, you know, Johnny Carson was probably the last, you know, tonight's show was funny.
I was reading some things the other day about the late night TV and how it's changed so much. So much of it today is just, you know, especially over the last number of years, is just beating up Trump a lot. And back then, they didn't get into politics near as much,
yeah,
it was more real comedy stuff.
It was real comedy. It was, you know, it wasn't political. It was funny. But everything is so, you know, it's not comedy. It's hate speech.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, anyway, it's just a bygone era. Today, we got a lot of good information we're going to share with everybody.
We do.
We do. Our drinking water quality, so we're going to come up with the top 10 issues of contaminants in our drinking water, and we're also going to offer the solutions for them. And so I want to cover those.
Okay.
Number one, drinking water issue.
We're not going to start with number 10. Since we're talking about late night TV, you could do like David Letterman used to do, number 10.
No, let's do number one. The top 10, let's do number one.
All right, let's do it.
So, the number one issue in the state of Colorado for drinking water quality is nitrates. Nitrates are common, especially in northern Colorado, agricultural community. Nitrates are also common in the foothills because they can be caused by the roots of pine trees, and we know everybody has pine trees in the foothills. So nitrates is, it can cause birth defects, it can cause miscarriages. The EPA limitation on nitrates is at 10 part per million. Problem with nitrates is that and when you boil water, and as water, you know, steam, it boils down, the nitrates increase. So if you get a test done and your nitrates are anywhere close to 10 part per million, you want to pay attention to that, because if you're using that for cooking and you're boiling potatoes or pasta, and as the water boils down, so the nitrates will increase. So nitrates do not boil off water. It's common in well water. Some municipalities can have nitrates, and it's easy to fix. We can do microscopic filtration with the point of use reverse osmosis. We can also do whole house system to remove nitrates with an aniline resin system. And the first 4 contaminants that are on our list can be treated with a whole house filtration system. And so this is why I want to go into that, because number 2 is radionuclides, both uranium and radium. Now, radium is something that can be treated by a point of use reverse osmosis system or a whole house water softener. Now, radionuclides along with nitrates are very common, especially in the foothills, in areas where you have well water. Decayed rock is basically where the radioactivity comes from. Mm-hmm. Uranium is in the water. Northern Colorado spent billions of dollars on a water reservoir that they cannot use right now because of high uranium content. And with the drought, right, they're not going to be using it anytime soon, because they're waiting to add more water to see if they can dilute the uranium levels in the water so it can be used. So think about that one.
Mm-hmm. And, when you look at some of these things and you hear some of these terms, and you think about that. That's what's in your daily drinking water, cooking water,
Right.
bathing water. And then you wonder, we're the sickest nation on earth.
Well,
I mean, really,
Look, so
could it be?
well, all right. I'm starting here because you're spot on. Think about this. Think about all young people, Gen X, Gen Zers, you're getting sick with cancer at an earlier age, colorectal cancer. Now they're saying that, used to be, 45 to 50 years old get screened. Now they're saying, 35 years old. Is it because of what's in our water? Because there's a lot of disinfectant byproducts, for example, Scott, are in our water supply. If you live in town and you're drinking a municipal water, you're drinking disinfectant byproduct. That's a cancer-causing agent. And is it because of the water that we're drinking?
Mm-hmm. Paul will do a free in-home water test for you. All you have to do is call 303-862-5554 and mention you heard them here on Water Talk. They'll come out, actually do a free in-home test for you. See what that test shows, and then Paul will educate you on your water. There is no high-pressure sales here. Matter of fact, there's no pressure. Paul just wants to come out, educate you about your water, see what you got going on, see if we can get you some cool, clean water. And once again, that number is 303-862-5554. Now, all the things that we've talked through the years that they're putting in our water at these water treatment facilities, Paul, all the chemicals they're putting in at those water treatment facilities, does it have much effect on this other, like uranium and radium and all that? Or?
Well, the drought is definitely going to play an effect on the nitrates, the radionuclides, because as the water level goes down, then the concentration of those contaminants are going to go up. So think about that. There's natural. We did a special, we did a show, on aquifers. Remember, we found out the aquifers were ancient water and that the aquifers don't refill. So, the aquifers are surrounded by basically rock, granite. And so as the water levels go down, I could see arsenic, especially uranium, especially out east in Elizabeth, there's a problem with uranium-3. It could increase because of, the lower levels of the aquifer. And the growth in this state is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go out east off of Powhatan Road, and they've got new subdivisions growing, 180, I think it's 18,000 new homes.
I was coming back from Colorado Springs yesterday, and there, you can just come down I-25. There is a ton of growth that you see building.
Well, it's going to be one big suburb from Castle Rock to Monument.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right where the dealerships are in Castle Rock, across.
And how do they tap? My lack of well water drilling is low. How do they just keep digging so many wells out in these well water areas?
I think it's like that guy. We did an article a couple years back regarding the Colorado Sun, regarding Douglas County, and the gentleman said, think of a bathtub filled with water, and then you got all these straws, trying to pull from the same source. I don't think they're realizing or taking into consideration the long-term effects of pulling from the same source. That's why the city has to go through 35% reusable water.
Right.
So if I'm on well water right now, and you're tapping into, Douglas County is still a fast-growing county. Arapahoe County, you've got Adams County, and so they're all basically tapping into the same aquifers over and over again. Mm-hmm. And with these new subdivisions that are being used, they're going to have their own water district, and their water district and their water resources are going to be tapping into the same groundwater that everybody individual well is going to use. So if you're on an individual well, and your water quality absolutely could change because you have more people accessing it, especially in these larger communities.
Right.
So, Castle Rock, a lot of these this was 2 years ago. There was a guy on Channel 9 News who was being interviewed, and he absolutely said, reusable water. They're going to go to that. That's going to be the future, is reusable water, and it's something that they think is going to be inexpensive, because water is a resource that's the same water that's on the planet today, is the same water that was in the beginning of time. I mean, it's there. It doesn't disappear, and so what happens is that if we're in drought conditions and some waterways recede, well, it's being replaced someplace else. The South right now is having, major flooding because they're getting too much rain. And, the polar ice caps are starting to grow back again. Remember, everybody said global warming.
Right.
So my point is water just gets, displaced. It goes from one place to another. But the contamination issues, are the same, if not worse, because now what do we have now in our water? We have, the forever chemicals. So water, because of the hydrological cycle, evaporates. All this contamination, the microplastics, forever chemicals, pharmaceuticals, everything, gets transferred. It's
Right.
globally. But here locally, because of the groundwater and the resources where the water touches, pine trees, the farming, the agriculture community in northern Colorado is high nitrates. These are issues because of our environment.
Right. It is Water Pros, 303-862-5554. We're going to take a quick break. More coming right back right after this.
As rates decline, take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Over 24 years of saving Coloradans money. Low rates, lower payments, less costs. What makes us different is we listen. As an independent mortgage broker, we shop the top lenders to save you the most. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Want to purchase your next home? You can't qualify unless you sell your current home? Let us show you how to get the down payment out of your current home, qualify for the new one, and then sell yours for the most. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. So you want to buy a home. Let us show you loans that can save you money, low down payment, first-time home buyer specials, fixed rates in the 4s with buy-downs. Call for details, 720-895-0500, or apply now at aimortgage.net. That's Affordable Interest Mortgage, where it's all about you. Regulated by DORA and MLS 217147, Equal Credit Lender.
Looking to gear up for your next hunt, fishing trip, or camping adventure? Head to the Outdoorsman's Attic, Colorado's largest consignment store for hunting, fishing, and camping gear, located at 2650 West Hampden. Hey, this is Scott with Sportsman of Colorado Radio, and you'll find wall-to-wall outdoor gear to firearms and ammo. You'll find incredible selection at unbeatable prices, plus clothing over 90 days old is up to 50% off. So there's always great deals waiting. Whether you're upgrading gear or just getting started, the Outdoorsman's Attic is a must-stop. Mention Sportsman of Colorado for additional discounts. It's the Outdoorsman's Attic, where smart outdoorsmen shop. Tell them Scott sent you. It's 2650 West Hampden.
AM 560, KLZ, your home station.
Welcome back to Water Talk. My name is Scott Watley, along with Paul the Waterman, Paul Dowding. Once again, the number 303-862-5554. Hey, I do want to mention a special weekend coming up. It is Father's Day, and this will be my 4th Father's Day without my father, who passed away at the age of 88. And well, I tell you, my mom's already passed away. My sister, if you've listened to the show and some of our medical shows, she passed away from diabetes at 61. My mom's 62. My dad made it to 88. So I tell you, if you got the chance, I just want to put this plea out there. If you are able to go see your dad, please make every effort to go do that. If that's impossible, but they're still living, you can reach them by phone, please call. But I promise you, you will never regret the time it took to try to travel there, find them, take them to dinner, whatever the case may be, because unfortunately one day you will not be able to do that. And I say that from experience, and I would have given anything to be able to go shopping for Father's Day cards, Paul, this week, But, hey, I know where my dad is. He's much better off today. But, Paul, your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to take a call. Do we have a call? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, are you there? Are you there? Is this Dad? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Dad. In front of the whole world that listens to us, I just wanted to take this moment to call and wish you Happy Father's Day, Pop.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate
I've been
it.
looking for my gift.
Yeah, yeah. Get on him there, sir. Get him on him.
Yeah.
It's in the mail. I don't think I have your address though.
So, what's your dad's first name?
This is Fred.
Fred. So, Fred, my name is Scott. I'm the host of the show, and I've been working with Paul a number of years here. Tell us a little bit
You and
about.
I met, Scott.
Tell us a little
You and
bit
I have
about.
Yeah, you
Paul.
don't remember. You met Dad.
Oh, you're right. I do remember that
Yes. Yeah, we bought him here.
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's nice to visit.
And I'm
with you
very
again.
sorry to hear that you're an orphan.
Yes, sir. Well, I am too. But I tell you, I had an incredible father. We had a great relationship, and like I say, you just never know the day, So, man, tell everybody now you love them and spend all the time you can with them.
It's kind of like that Field of Dreams movie, Scott. You remember when they're at the very end, he says, "Dad, you want to have a catch?"
Yeah,
yeah, that's
absolutely.
So
tell us a little about little Paul.
Oh no, don't do that. No, no, we don't want to do that.
I could tell you the time he almost burnt down a campsite trying to start a fire with gasoline.
Oh
yeah, it was.
No, wait a minute, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
I tried burning down the neighborhood. It was the neighborhood. Yeah, it was. So listen, they're getting ready to move from Miami to Alabama, and they're taking a Matrix whole house water filtration system with them.
Wow.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. They also have the tankless reverse osmosis drinking water system we got to get installed for them. So, we got to take care of you and make sure that Pop's got good quality water so he can, live another 20 years.
Yeah, no doubt. So did you ever think your son would own a water filtration company and be on the radio every week?
I could tell you a story that I didn't tell you lots of stories, but I would say he has done things that I had the most admiration for. That I couldn't be more proud of him. He went to Las Vegas with about, I think, what was it, Paul? About $12 in your pocket?
Yeah, about $12.
Yeah, $12. Got worked out a deal with a person to teach him the water business. He already knew a lot, but this person, after he interviewed him, he was on commission only, and so you live in your car,
Yep.
and then he made enough to get a small apartment, and the rest is history. He's just been amazing. And when you see somebody as dedicated as he is and in his craft, I don't know of too many people that could match his knowledge in water purification, water filtration. We listen to you guys a lot, and I'm always walk away just shaking my head. Oh my gosh! Because I told him,
Trust me, I do too.
Well, there you go.
No, you're right, though. And that is one thing, when I met Paul, and I know we got a show to do, but this is very important. When I met Paul and saw his passion for knowledge, and sure, he wants to sell stuff, but his passion was for knowledge, and to get that across to customers seemed way higher than his passion to sell something. And
exactly.
If you get the knowledge to people, they're smart enough to make good decisions and see, again, his motive is to educate. If If what you want, he's selling, great. If not, you made a new friend, and you're going to know a whole lot more about water when he walks out of your house. So that's why, he's been a terrific fit for here and for a number of years now. And we're proud to have him, as a friend and as well as one of our great, great sponsors here.
Well, I'm humbled to be on the call. Thank you.
Dad, I want you to have a great day. Happy Father's Day.
I will. And it's all part of you, buddy. All part of you.
Love you, Dad. Take care.
Yeah.
Love you too.
All right. Take care, Fred. That is Fred. Man, I'm going to get him on a separate show. When you can't come in sometime, I'm going to call Fred and go, tell me some more stories.
Well, he was a play-by-play announcer for the local high school.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
for Rock Falls, Illinois.
Yeah.
He did the radio. So
Right.
It's thanks for letting me do that.
Of course, man.
It's one of those things. It's Father's Day, and it's I wouldn't be doing this, right, if it wasn't for my dad. When we got involved and we did Water Pros, he was right there with me. He was encouraging, and so it's one of those ordeals where he finally said, "Why don't you do it yourself?"
Yeah.
Right, and I was like, "Well, you're right. Why not?"
Sure.
So anyway, all right.
All right. Well, we'll recap the first part of the show here. And again, you're listening to Water Talk. Paul Dowding, Paul the Waterman. As I mentioned earlier, free in-home water test, 303-862-5554. And that includes all of our well water owners as well. So no matter where you're getting your water from, Paul will come out and give it a test. Now, are these chemicals and some of the things we're talking about today, I don't have that list with me where we had that big list of all the known contaminants. Are those listed in that? Do you remember?
So everything that we have here was listed in those. The contaminant, remember the contaminant candidate list we talked about? So there's contamination on this top 10 list of drinking water contaminants in Colorado that made the contaminant candidate list in 2026. Also, these contaminants also are on the unregulated contaminant list with the EPA. So before we go forward, let's recap real quick. These are contaminants that are in our drinking water. State of Colorado, the first one was nitrates. Nitrates is common in drinking water, especially in northern Colorado, agricultural community. They use nitrogen for fertilizer, or there's dairy farms all over. And so the waste that from dairy cattle that's spread on the fields for fertilizer can get into the groundwater. Nitrates can come from that. If you live in the foothills, nitrate contamination is common because it's also the pine tree roots can cause nitrates in groundwater. Then we have the radionuclides, uranium and radium, and that's very common because water decays rock. And when water decays rock, there's your radionuclide contamination. And then the third one, because they're all, is arsenic. Same thing. Arsenic is something that's created when water decays rock. And arsenic is very common in the whole state. Uranium, the whole state. Radionuclides, radium. Radium is the only contaminant that we've mentioned so far that a water softener can remove by itself. Okay. The other three, nitrates, uranium, and arsenic, can be removed with an anion resin-based system. And so we can remove it with anion resin-based. A point of use reverse osmosis with microscopic filtration can remove them, but we offer whole house solutions. And then we'll jump right to number 4, is the forever chemicals. And forever chemicals, again, so if I take forever chemicals, nitrates, uranium, and arsenic, if we have an anion resin-based whole house system, that will remove that from the water supply.
Once again, Water Pros, 303-862-5554. And folks, a lot of these things, you can just put in whatever search engine you want and put in, uranium and radium in our water, the PFAS and food and water and all the different things. You will see automatically, and this is why we go over this stuff, because automatically what you'll see right after that is all the different effects on your health. You will not hardly see an article about this that does not start talking about health hazards, Paul.
No, I totally agree. And so everything that Scott one thing about our show is everything that we offer folks, they can find themselves. All they have to do is go to their local search engine. I pick Google. You can go to an AI, application, type in, and what I did is give me the top 10 contaminants in my drinking water in Colorado, and here it is. It's right there for everybody to see. When you do the forever chemicals, we've done a lot of shows regarding the forever chemical issue, but just think with the nitrates, the uranium, the arsenic, and the forever chemicals, we can remove that with a whole house anion resin system. It has to be supported by a water softener. I've said this before. Drinking water filtration really starts with soft water, because soft water is absolutely the best water to filter for drinking water purposes. Hard water can affect water filtration. Anion resin system is so sensitive that hard water would spoil it, would ruin it. So, we do have options. So what I wanted to do today was talk about what these problems are and right away offer the solution how to fix it. Mm-hmm. People need to realize that our drinking water quality is not what I would say what it should be. I think we have a false sense of security on that. Another sense, what we learned, you remember, Mark Whitlatch, he's been a contributor on our radio program. What we learned from Mark is basically, a water treatment system for a municipality does the best they can. Water comes in, but they have to, send it out at a high rate. So there's only so much filtration that you can achieve. Mm-hmm. Okay. Water infrastructure, water filtration systems at a municipality level in their infrastructure have not caught up. So you have existing communities. Now, these newer communities, obviously, are going to use water lines that, aren't the same as old lead, galvanized pipe that Denver has in some of its areas. Okay. But the water resources that we have aren't up to par. Infrastructure needs to be replaced. But now when you have a community like this where, you've got population that, and we've got major Sterling Ranch. If you go 470, you remember Roxborough Park? Mm-hmm. Okay. Roxborough Park was by itself. Now, did you realize that Roxborough Park is connected to Sterling Ranch? Mm-hmm. So you go from Santa Fe, Titan Road, to Wadsworth.
Right.
That's one big community now.
Right. And actually, you can take, because I have a friend that lives right closer, there's a road called Airport Road that only turns west there. If you take that road, they have built brand new highway system back there the last couple of years. And you drive back in there, if you haven't done that in a while, and look at all the new construction and homes and roads they're cutting through back there.
There's new schools.
It's insane.
I was there yesterday, Scott. There's new schools, great schools being built. I mean, these communities, it's amazing how much growth, and that's all snuggled by, what's that park that's right by Roxborough Park, the state park there. And so Chatfield, yeah. So all that's there. Now, with the growth of it, the water resources is still the same. That's the whole point. So I could see we mentioned earlier an article that was done a couple of years ago in the Colorado Sun that we quoted with Douglas County official, and he used the analogy, and I'm being repetitive, think of a bathtub, body of water, and then you got so many straws and they're all trying to take from the same source. Eventually the water level is going to go lower, and then the quality of water is going to change, and so you're going to have a lot of issues that arise that you didn't have before because the water level is dropping. Well, water quality absolutely changes. I think I mentioned before that outside of Castle Rock off of Riffensburger to Perry Park Road, a lot of customers there that go from Perry Park, Riffensburger intersection to Sedalia. I have customers there where they're running out of water. Their well's going dry, and the well quality has changed. It's different than it was before. That's because of the demand. There's high-end homes right off of Riffensburger Road that got multi-million-dollar, mansions, let's say, that want to use 20 to 30,000 gallons of water a day just for sprinklers. Mm-hmm. And so they have to that's a lot of water. And so with this drought situation, I'm sure, that's been cut off. But, the water usage in the resources, are the same as they were 30 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I mentioned this health risk things, I was looking during that last break. It says, when Paul was talking about the PFAS, it says peer-reviewed research indicates that long-term health exposure to certain levels of PFAS can lead to significant health complications. Gives us 5 deals here real quick. Immune system, reduced ability to fight infections and decreased response to vaccines in children. Cardiovascular, increased cholesterol levels. Developmental, lower infant birth weights and developmental delays in children. Reproductive, decreased fertility and increased high blood pressure, or let's see here, preeclampsia during pregnancy. The last one, disease risk, increased risk of cancers, prostate, kidney, testicular, thyroid diseases. So when you think about cardiovascular, where's that in our world today as far as being a problem? Huge.
It's top 5 issue.
Our immune system not able to fight infections. People are sick all the time. Huge. Disease risk, cancers. I mean,
and all these also, Scott, are related to obesity. The forever chemicals, especially nitrates. Blue baby syndrome. Arsenic and uranium speak for itself. These are metals. Did you realize that uranium and arsenic are basically a dissolved solid, which is a metal that an anion resin system can remove for the whole house? But the radium is a radionuclide. We have a system right now. We're monitoring a mobile home park in Woodland Park, and they have a radium issue, and we have to test that every quarter to the state to show that we're mitigating, removing that. Mark and I, work on that together, and we have a dual tank water softener, and the dual tank water softener gives the park soft water, but it also removes the radium out of the drinking water. So that's another issue. I want to address next week, if it's okay with you. We have we've talked about the new law regarding water filtration in mobile home parks.
Right.
So what we've got now is that this is a non-mobile home park, but he owns basically an RV lot where people can take their campers and they can park there and stay. Okay. Now they're going to turn that into a public water system. And so we're going to be able to go through step by step what is going to be required. And so, it's going to go from something that, was affordable to you have to look at all the costs and changes that the state's mandating. And is that going to be an affordable situation for the owner to keep that as a mobile home park? Because the requirements, on a side note, let me share something with you on this one. We have had 20 years of one-party rule in the state, okay? Do you realize that they've mandated a law in the state that makes gas hot water heaters so efficient that the state of Colorado has to have specialty water heaters that no other state has to sell? So if you have a hot water heater right now that you purchased 4 years ago that has comes with a 6-year warranty, and something happens to that hot water heater that's a warranty issue, you won't be able to get a replacement unit because that hot water heater you have right now is not allowed to be sold in Colorado anymore. Really? Did you realize that they mandate, now all this was done in a laboratory, okay? Do you realize the mandated changes with your furnace and air conditioner in the state of Colorado that now you don't have a starter system anymore? The prices, because of changes in efficiency, that's why these systems have jumped to how expensive as they are. You used to be able to get an affordable replacement system for about $4,500, high-end $9,000. Now you're going to get a replacement for a furnace and air conditioner combo package because I like selling them together. Your median price is $22,000. And a lot of my competitors are trying to put the water softener in that same boat.
Gotcha.
At $20,000 to $22,000. So by going over these contaminants, I thought, say, okay, here's what they are. These are something, because I'm sure we're not the only ones who are going to raise this issue.
Sure.
But there are affordable ways that you can remove these for the whole entire house. An anion resin-based system supported by a cation resin-based system. So what that means is you have a base water softener and an anion resin system, and everything that we've talked about so far in the contamination list can be removed for the whole entire house.
For those that missed it 6-8 weeks ago, you brought to the airways a new system you have that goes under the counter. And tell us about it and who's it good for? It's
anybody out there, especially those that live in an apartment or If you live in an apartment or you're a renter, we have a tankless reverse osmosis system that's ideal, that works. We can run it through the kitchen faucet, the main faucet, so you don't have to have a separate secondary faucet. The plumbing is non-intrusive, so it's something that can be easily done. As long as I can remember, it was difficult for people who rented to get a point of use reverse osmosis system because of how it had to be installed. You had to have a secondary faucet, so 9 times out of 10 that means we had to drill a hole for the faucet, which was intrusive and not allowed. There were some plumbing modifications that had to be done, and that wasn't allowed. So now, with this technology, if you're a renter, you can have a tankless RO system, and it can come right out of your main kitchen sink faucet. The cold water side can be the tankless reverse osmosis water.
And plug it in.
Plug it in, and it's ready to go.
Wow. Now, filters on that. It also alerts them when to change, correct?
Yes, it does. Thank you. This is a smart system, Scott. It has an indicator to let know when the filters need to be changed. It also has a built-in sensor, leak detector. So if there's a leak, it's going to indicate, let you know. So that's all part of the package. Plus, it will provide 600 gallons of drinking water per day. So you could, use that. That's a lot.
Yeah. Give Water Pros a call, 303-862-5554. And what is the cost of that, Mr. Waterman?
So, we were at $2,400 on sale for $1,800, and we ran that sale to Memorial Day, but we're going to extend that sale price.
Let's make it Father's Day.
Yeah, we'll make it Father's Day, $1,800.
You're not going to give Dad $100.
What?
You're not going to give a Dad $100.
Well, it's $1,800. No, why?
I tell you what, the first 2 people that call, 303-862-5554, and you're a father, and I'm just going to trust you, I'm going to pay $100 for you. So now it's $1,700.
First 2 people. If that's the case, the first
people.
10 people that called.
No, yeah. The first 2 people.
2
I'm going to
people.
save you another $100. Hearing Paul talk to his dad, man, his dad's got one. I want all dads to get one. So you know what? That's what we're going to do. And that is, Paul, I was just teasing Paul. That is a great, great price. At $2,400, he ran it for $1,800. So 2 callers, 303-862-5554. You're going to get it extra $100 off for $1,700. But call now. They're not going to last long. We'll be right back.
Turn a normal day into an adventure on an e-bike. Hi, I'm Randy Caranci, founder of E-Bike of Colorado. E-bikes are a fun way to ride around town. Just try it. Pedal assist technology flattens the steepest hills. We have 14 major brands to choose from, and our expert staff will find you the perfect bike. Come take a free test ride at E-Bike of Colorado in downtown Louisville next to the historic grain elevator. Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Learn more at ebikeofcolorado.com. Just try it.
Need new glasses fast? With Stack Optical's on-site lab, you'll get your prescription glasses in just 3 to 4 days. No long wait times. Hey, this is Scott Watley, and I've trusted my eye care to Allen Stack and Stack Optical for the last 15 years. Eye exams are only $69, and that should be a part of your physical checkups each year. For over 50 years, Denver has trusted this family-owned boutique eye care center for premium vision care, custom eyewear, and expert repairs. See the Stack Optical difference today. Call 303-321-1578. That's 303-321-1578 and tell them Scott sent you. Stack Optical. Since 1968, at Stack Optical, you'll see the difference.
This is AM 560 KLZ, your home station.
Welcome back to Water Talk, and once again, we are glad you were with us. As I mentioned, free water test in your home, well water, municipality, whatever. 303-862-5554, and just mention you heard Paul here on Water Talk, KLZ 560, and they will get you scheduled. All right, we have covered several of these top 10 contaminants in drinking water in Colorado. Paul, did we hit selenium?
No, selenium's next. Selenium, found naturally in certain Colorado soils, Its leach through agricultural runoff can affect both water quality and local wildlife. The other one I want to get to real quick is lead. Now, lead is common. Lead is also a contamination issue. A lot of Colorado communities have old infrastructure that has not been replaced. I know the city and county of Denver has sent out letters to communities, giving out pictures to those in municipal water supplies with old lead pipes. That's something. Manganese, I want to talk about number 7, jump right to manganese and iron.
Okay.
Manganese is something that's natural. It's especially in well water. It's a mineral. It's non-toxic, but high levels of manganese can be flagged by the EPA and the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment because its effects with babies. So high levels of manganese, there's a threshold by the EPA set standards for babies, and it's at, I believe, we're right around 0.3 part per million is the limit. And if it's above that, then they say it's, on a 10-day period of time, you can't give it to a newborn baby or use it for, making formula or food because of the health effects that it can affect on that child. And that can easily be mitigated. A point-of-use whole or reverse osmosis microscopic filtration could take care of it, but also a whole house water softener will remove it. Iron is iron. There's no level of iron that's a health concern. It's just going to be taste and discoloration. But again, water softening resin can remove it. We like putting dual tank water softeners on well water because it alternates tanks, but it can take clean water from one tank to back flush the other. Alternating means that you're going to have a continuous supply of clean, soft water. When you live in town and you're in a municipal water supply, you're basically dealing with hard water, right? And we have the forever chemicals, we have high chlorine content. So we have specific systems for municipal water supply, like the matrix that, we like to offer folks, the whole house softener, conditioner. But when you're dealing with well water, a dual tank water softener can help with the hardness iron content, and it can also, take care of manganese. Now, we also ran into a situation, Mark and I did, where we have a mobile home park that had manganese. We put in a chlorination system. Chlorine is an oxidizer, and the chlorination system was able to oxidize the manganese out of the water, and we got it down to, acceptable, safe levels for drinking consumption. So you don't have to have a super duper impressive type of water filtration system to remove it on a small municipal, water system. But it's something that is a contaminant. Most people didn't realize that high levels of manganese, there is an EPA mandate for that. And so it's something that we can also remove. Number 8 in the list goes, something that we talked about last week, the disinfection byproducts in a municipal water supply.
Right.
Okay. So number 8 is just that. They're trihalomethanes and haloacidic acids. These are disinfection byproducts, and so it's from the chlorine interacts with natural organics. So every single municipal water supply is going to have organics in the water. Every single municipal water supply has these disinfection byproducts in it, and they're harmful. Cancer-causing agents. They are absorbed through your skin. You breathe them in the steam in your shower, and absolutely you drink them. These are things, in a sense, Scott, they're a contaminant. Do I dare say the word poison? Because it's on. Check this out. Trihalomethanes are on the EPA's regulated contamination list. So a municipality is to test these and report these. Haloacidic acid isn't.
Right.
But it's on the the contaminant candidate list. Mm-hmm. I call it critical because, so let me ask you this question, and not to get off track, but why would the EPA have a contaminant candidate list and then an unregulated contaminant list? Why not just let us all truthfully know what's really in the water supply?
Yeah.
Don't you think that gives us a false sense of security? So here's the cover-up. When the EPA, I don't care what, party is in the White House, the EPA's been doing this for years. It has a contaminant candidate list, has an unregulated contaminant list, so they hide the fact of what's really in the water, and I ask, why do that?
I know.
Why not tell us the truth? So if you have an unregulated contaminant, and if you have a contaminant that's on a contaminant candidate list, both those are not reported are required to be reported by your water municipality. So right now, your municipality should send you a yearly statement on the state of the quality of the water that you're paying for, and trihalomethanes absolutely is one of those contaminants that has to be reported, along with certain forever chemicals. But when that's not done, and then you have a false sense of security, when's the last time you in Victoria got in the mail a report on the quality of your water?
Never seen it.
So is it because now they, it's not advertised? Have you ever got a water bill that says, "Hey, Scott, check out our water quality report. It's on our website."
Right.
Right? Have they? No.
They don't want you to check it out.
Well, seriously. So here's the question. Is the quality of our water safe to drink?
By what we have seen, and this one topic we're talking about right now, the trihalomethanes and the haloacidic acids, that is off the Colorado Department of Public Health website. It's noted right on our papers here. All right, Colorado Department of Public Health is saying this, so they know all of these chemicals and all that's going on in our water, Paul.
I don't understand. What I don't understand...
And what's it going to take to get it? Right now, I think we're all just seeing things about water shortage, with the drought. But there's not much on the quality.
Here's something real quick. If I have a drought, if I have a concern with my water quality, and we have a drought and we're in water restriction usage, because the water in Denver did an article on one of the local TV stations saying the safety of water at our parks, the bacteria levels are high because of the drought. I'm not convinced that that's not spreading to our drinking water quality as well. So you have to put two and two together.
Let's talk about install and different things like that. How long, a person calls you, you come out, you do the water test, you get things figured out what you need. Now I realize depending on what equipment they're getting, but what are you looking at the time that Water Pros needs in a home?
3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours is about the average time we need.
Yeah.
From the time that we do the water analysis, we were at a house yesterday, Scott, give you an idea. So we do the water test, go over the water results, show them how hard the water is, how much chlorine content. It was in Sterling Ranch. Sterling Ranch water hardness was 15 grains per gallon. The chlorine content was a half part per million. That's like swimming pool water, to 1 part per million. Now we think about it because of the color that we use test strips. Test strips are advanced in the quality. Today's test strips are a lot better than any of the chemical testing we used to do. Chemical testing I get away from because I'm dumping all those chemicals into drain. So it's like, why do that? I'll do a test strip, throw it away. Okay. So the chlorine content is the chloramine, and then they had a tankless hot water heater, and the water hardness from the tankless hot water heater was higher than what was coming out of the kitchen sink because the tankless hot water heater was never serviced. So a tankless hot water heater builds up with calcium. So, a water softener will take care of that because soft water dissolves all existing hardness buildup. They're going to have a baby, coming in the fall, and so they're looking for water quality. So what we could do is we went downstairs then after the water test, looked at the plumbing, showed them where the connection point was going to be. We could put it right by the furnace and hot water heater. So if they ever wanted to do, finish the basement, it would be right in that utility area. And so, that whole installation process, takes about 2.5 hours.
And to think again, I look back, and I'm going to give Victoria, I'll say, what do you think we were spending on bottled water a month? It was astronomical what bottled water cost. And we were buying it by, honestly, I'd go to the store and get 6 or 8 cases every time I would go. And when you look at what we spent, with you on getting it right there in the house and not have a hassle of all of that and getting the best water in the world that you can possibly get is a great trade-off.
Let me ask you a question. How long have you guys had that system now?
I'm guessing 3 years.
So just 2 people, 3 years, and your reverse osmosis filters are still going strong. Your production hasn't changed.
Nothing.
Your ice cubes are still clear.
Crystal.
So that's the whole point, that it's supported by a water softener. Right? When you support the reverse osmosis filtration system by a water softener, you're allowing the RO system just to filter through the contaminants. It's soft water. So then it's going to take out those contaminants that can last longer because it's not getting beat up or occupied by the hardness. Hardness is called calcium carbonate. It's a liquid. As it oxidizes, converts to a scale, it's a rock. It builds up. So it's going to rip that membrane, which is nanofiltration, but I think you came up with the word microscopic filtration, which is a better way to explain it, right? And understand. And so now you've got 3 years, the filter's still going strong, and because it's filtering soft water. How much water really do you think you use from that reverse osmosis a day?
Oh, man. Victoria does a lot better job of that than I do. But usually when I get home, man, of course, we're all using these big metal type containers today. I try to drink, 2 or 3 of those suckers at night.
Yeah, so, I mean, but so what I'm saying is you don't go through, 2-3 gallons a day?
No.
And when you're cooking, right, you fill up the pot with reverse osmosis. So in your situation, that it's affordable. My point where I'm getting with this is that it's not expensive upkeep because you're not doing continuous filtration, filter replacements because you're feeding it soft water. So in a sense, the water softener pays for the reverse osmosis because of what you save in filter replacements.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your service areas, touch on those.
We go as far south as Colorado Springs. Every once in a while, we'll have friends and family of customers. We'll go down to Pueblo. We'll go up to, we'll go into Wyoming. We'll go out east. It's Lone Tree, Scott. Lone Tree is the place that we couldn't figure out what it was last week. I was like, where that dog track is. Not Lone Tree. I'm missing it again.
I live right by Lone
Tree. Colleen, what's the name? It's not Lone Tree. Okay, so we have like 8 minutes left
to sit here and look at each other and try to figure it out. But,
Charlie, where's the dog track?
Does it start with an L? Lock Buoy?
No, Lock Buoy's on Highway 76. We're on up I-70.
I'm just trying to think of words I know.
Oh, man. Deer Trail.
Deer Trail.
Yeah. Doesn't start with an L. Can you believe that, Scott? Deer Trail and Lone Tree. Sorry, folks. Deer Trail. We go out to Deer Trail. Deer Trail's a big area.
All right.
Yeah.
And where do you start?
Fort Lupton. We'll do that.
Where do you start hitting well water? What?
Arapahoe County's a big county. I didn't realize how big Arapahoe County goes. They're almost out to Deer Trail. But well water, Elizabeth, a lot of people out in that area. Wiggins, we'll help people out there. Anything on I-70, I think once you get past exit 304, you're going to run into, a whole bunch of well water. And a lot of folks on well water, let's get back to the number. I want to jump to the number 9 contaminant. Scott, well water is copper. Copper, much like lead, copper tends to leach into tap water, result of corrosion of residential plumbing systems, and that's because Colorado water is also acidic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have hard water, you can have iron in the water, and it's acidic. And so when it's acidic water, it corrodes copper pipes. And so copper will leach. If you go and you have a home with copper pipes and you look at it and you see the green stain on the copper pipes and you see a black greasy spot, that's a sign of acidity. If you have a blue-green water ring in your toilet bowl, the holding tank, that's acidic water. And then the number 10, and the top 10 contaminant we made through all 10, is total coliform bacteria, which is very common. Coliform bacteria in well water is common in Colorado. A lot of people try to blow off coliform bacteria as it won't hurt you. Well, that's true. 9 times out of 10 it won't, but as you get older, if you have an immune issue, it'll definitely affect you. But coliform bacteria is a precursor to E. coli bacteria. So if you got coliform bacteria, you got something going on. And you can't shock your well. Shocking your well is a short-term fix, not a long-term solution.
Mm-hmm. Latest scam you've seen out in your industry?
The latest scam I've seen in my industry, I had there's a 3-stage filtration system, inline filters,
okay,
that and I put up on YouTube. They called it a salt-free water softener. The biggest scam in the world.
They didn't.
Yes, they did. They did. It was 3 blue filters, 4x20 in this manifold, and to the right end of it, where that filter, the last filter, salt-free softener. That's the biggest lie in the world today. There's no such thing as a salt-free water softener.
No.
Does not exist.
Paul and his team are ready to help you. It is Water Pros, 303-862-5554. Free in-home water test. Last 90 seconds for well water folks out there. What could they do right now to walk around their house to see if they might have a problem?
Pull the lid off the back of the holding tank of your toilet and look inside there, and that'll tell you exactly what's going on with the quality of your water.
If they see you.
If it's orange, if it's black, give us a call. We'll come out, we'll do a test, but that's going to tell you. And if you got orange water, that's iron content. If it's orange and black, you got sulfur in the water. It can be some manganese in the water, but that's also it build up in the hot water heater. And take a look and inspect your copper pipes. If your home's old enough, you got copper pipes, take a look and protect yourself from the corrosion. Acidic water is something that over a long period of time, it eats at the copper pipes from the inside out, makes them very brittle, and they'll burst.
Yeah. All right, let's hit our special one more time.
All right. So every dad out there, call 303-862-5554, and if Jill answers the phone, you tell her Paul said that Scott would.
And I've already had to sign, folks. Yeah.
So we'll do $1,800, but if your
for
dad,
the first two people, we're going to do
take an extra $100.
I'm going to give you $100. All right.
And then, so all the dads out there, happy Father's Day, and hey, it only takes a couple seconds to call Pop and say hi.
Yep, absolutely. That you will never regret doing. I promise you very much. Thanks for being with us today. Paul, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You can join us all week here, Haystack Help Radio, noon to 1. A lot of great guests. Join us for Sportsman of Colorado on Saturdays at 1. And we will talk to you then.
The views and opinions expressed on KLZ 560 are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Crawford Broadcasting, the station, management, employees, associates, or advertisers. KLZ 560 is a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.